Here is another cool video highlighting top 10 best scenes from Iron Man armor suit up. Please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Also take a second to hit the like button, it really helps us a lot. 1. Test Flight Mark II Armor Iron Man 2008. Tony Stark's second Iron Man suit, the Mark II Iron Man armor, significantly improved upon the clumsy and primitive Mark I armor's design to create a more articulated and streamlined one.
Say it again.
You speak. What do you know?
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Tell me.
Function 11. I
Got it.
enter. I have the hex code.
They're coming.
Make sure that
Tony Stark used the resources and technology made accessible to him by his firm, Stark Industries, to begin designing the Mark II armor after he was released from captivity in Afghanistan. This marked a significant redesign of the Mark I armor. In order to increase the suit's flying capabilities, Stark experimented with various technologies while creating it gradually. Stark and Yinsen construct a huge electric generator known as an arc reactor in secret to power Stark's electromagnet while feigning to work on the missile. They then start constructing a powered suit of armor that Stark created to aid in their escape. When the Ten Rings learn of Stark's scheme, they attack the workshop. However, Yinsen makes the ultimate sacrifice to divert their attention while Stark's suit charges. After fighting his way out of the cave wearing the armored suit, Stark discovers Yinsen critically injured. Yinsen comforts Stark and begs him to carry on with his escape rather than waste his life. Furious, Stark flees the cave, destroys the terrorists' cache of weapons made by Stark Industries, and takes off. Stark smashes the outfit when he crashes in the desert after making his getaway. Stark goes home after being saved by a search team that included Rhodes. Having witnessed the violence that guns can inflict when they fall into the wrong hands, he organizes a news conference to declare that his firm will no longer produce firearms. The manager of the business and his father's former partner, Obadiah Stane, warns Stark that this might destroy Stark Industries and his father's legacy. 2. Mark III Armor Iron Man 2008. Tony Stark's third Iron Man suit, the Mark III, was an improvement over the Mark II, addressing some of the outfit's earlier shortcomings. It was the first suit to use the traditional red and gold color scheme and the first to have a sophisticated onboard weaponry system. Stark spent the next few months building an improved suit and a more powerful arc reactor for his chest at his home workshop. When Stark made his first public appearance after his return, Christine Everhart informed him that the Ten Rings had recently acquired weapons from Stark Industries. While working on the Mark III's repulsors, Tony Stark saw a news broadcast about the Ten Rings terrorizing Ho Yinsen's hometown of Gulmira using weaponry he had allegedly discontinued, including a set of his Jericho rockets. he unintentionally learned that the palm repulsors may be employed as offensive weapons while doing this. After donning the armor, Stark set out to take on the terrorists. When Stark got to Gulmira, he quickly vanquished the 10 rings that had previously kept him captive and destroyed all of their weaponry. But doing so caught the attention of the military, who dispatched 2 F-22 fighter aircraft to look into it. The military increased its attack when Stark attempted to flee and elude the planes, but inadvertently brought down one of them after colliding with its wing.
Breath, Tony.
I'm not, I was just jogging in the canyon.
Okay, good, because I'm staring at one right now.
You have radio contact. Non-responsive.
Get it. Them come.
I've got the bogey in my sight. Sir. Then you are clear to engage.
Bogey just...
Point left!
The UAV. What is it?
Hello? Hi, Rhodey, it's Nancy.
This is not a piece of equipment. I'm in it.
But after disclosing his true identity to his buddy Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes and rescuing the pilot of the wrecked F-22, whose parachute failed to release upon ejecting, Stark was able to demonstrate that he is not a danger.
Got a visual on the bogey.
We're shooting at. Call off the raft.
That thing just took out.
Being re-engaged. Execute evasive.
Good shoot.
The public was eventually told to disregard the entire episode as an unfortunate training accident. Upon noticing the armor, Raza Hamid al-Wazar deduced that Stark was wearing an upgraded version of the armor he had worn to flee. Meanwhile, the 10 rings gathered the pieces of Stark's prototype suit. Al-Wazar proposed to switch the outfit with Stain during their meeting. Stain, however, defeated Al-Wazar and his group and prevailed in the litigation. When Stain returned to Stark Industries, he gave his scientists the order to reverse engineer a new suit from the wreckage. 3. Mark IV Iron Man 2 2010. While Anton Vanko lies dying in Russia, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. confesses to becoming Iron Man in front of the international press.
Likes the band. Can I have your attention? Absolutely. The Iron Man.
My device. A high-tech prosthesis. Actually, the well-being... The suit and I...
Tony's father and Anton collaborated years ago to develop a novel energy source. However, greed overcame Anton, and as he disappears, his son Ivan, Mickey Rourke swears to hold Tony accountable for his father's transgressions.
My bond is held.
Wake up, Daddy, son.
Say how refreshing it is to finally see you.
Meanwhile, Tony resists attempts to reveal the workings of his formidable Iron Man armor by sleazy Senator Stern, Gary Shandling and military weapons specialist Justin Hammer, Sam Rockwell. The ruling class concerns that Tony's technology would get up in the wrong hands are realized when Ivan, a brazen billionaire businessman who has constructed his own weapon using stolen Stark designs, confronts the arrogant billionaire in front of the entire world. Subsequently, Pepper Potts, Gwyneth Paltrow assumes some new duties, Lieutenant Rhodes, Don Cheadle struggles with whether to personally deliver Tony's suit to the military, and Ivan finds an unlikely ally in the fight to destroy Iron Man. Natalie Rushman, a legal consultant for Stark Industries, is revealed to have a connection to Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson.
We're going to say goodnight now and thank you.
I know it has a filtration.
Stark thought that his birthday celebration may be his last, so he became wasted while wearing the Mark IV armor, endangering a number of his guests. This was a result of the stress of gradually becoming poisoned by the palladium in his arc reactor.
I'm only going to say this once.
Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes, a friend of Stark's, dressed in the Mark II outfit and interfered, telling the partygoers to leave and telling his buddy to stop acting recklessly out of concern for their safety and the potential controversy such an event may bring.
this, Tony. You want to be the one to take a shot?
After a battle that took place within Tony Stark's mansion, Rhodes wins the Mark II for the US Air Force and Stark is barely outmatched. Nick Fury approached Tony Stark while he was eating donuts at Randy's Donuts the following morning when he was wearing the Mark IV and seated in front of the restaurant's enormous, iconic donut sign.
That's not looking too
I don't think we should hold it for too much longer. It's not up to you.
Tony,
I see different.
hell, if I didn't know better,
You don't know.
took it? The little brother walked it.
Redundancies to prevent them.
What do you want the Southwest region to deal with? Yeah.
Wearing a tuxedo underneath the armor, Stark airdropped to the main presentation platform at the Stark Expo to make a dramatic entrance and deliver the opening statement.
You blow something up? I already did that. Phoenix metaphor been personified in human back on a lawn chair day about you, and that's why for the next year share their collective vision is welcome back to the Stark Expo.
4. Mark V Iron Man 2 2010. The Mark V was made to be lightweight and to provide the wearer the benefits of Iron Man armor. The outfit consisted of several small, separate plates. As a result, the outfit became significantly lighter and could fit into a briefcase. Stark slid his hands into the sockets and raised the assembly onto his chest, activating the briefcase. In a couple of seconds, the suit formed itself mechanically around his torso. Tony Stark's fifth Iron Man outfit was the Mark V Iron Man armor, commonly referred to as the suitcase outfit. The first suit designed with portability and ease of access in mind, Stark utilized it in the Monaco duel until Whiplash broke it. Known as the suitcase suit for travel, the Mark V is a transportable suit that fits around Stark's body. Other than that, not much is known about the armor, like if it can fly. The armor has a red and silver color scheme that is reminiscent of the comic book Silver Centurion armor. During the Monaco Grand Prix, Whiplash assaulted Stark, trapping him on the track until Hogan and Potts were able to reach him with the Mark V. Despite the suit's diminished fighting capabilities, Stark utilized the Mark V armor to protect himself against Whiplash and just about defeated him, taking significant damage to the armor in the process. The Mark V was repaired and stored with the other classics in Stark's Hall of Armor at some point following the fight. The suit exploded as a result of damage to the mansion systems sustained during the Mandarin soldiers' attack on Stark's estate. 5. Iron Man Mark VII suit up. In Avengers 2012.
Cap, hit the lever.
With the help of a sensor bracelet he wears, the suit is able to come together around Stark and restore the circular arc reactor hole. The seventh Iron Man suit created by Tony Stark, the Mark VII Iron Man armor was the first to be assembled and deployed automatically and had significant improvements to both flying and weaponry. During the Battle of New York in 2012, Stark made notable use of it to repel the Chitauri assault. Tony Stark's Mark 6 suit sustained significant damage while attempting to fix and restart the helicarrier's broken turbines during the attack on the helicarrier, during which Loki managed to escape from jail.
What's it look like in there? Even if I clear the road.
We got rabbits.
They call it.
Love to get in there and push.
Well, if that thing gets
Long enough to disengage maglev, and that should... See that red lever? Word.
Stark made enough repairs to the Mark 6 to enable him to return to Stark Tower when he learned that Loki intended to execute his schemes from the summit of the structure. When he got there, he gave up the Mark 6 and instructed Jarvis to get the Mark 7 ready. Stark urged that the suit be ready right now, despite Jarvis's pleas that it wasn't yet ready. As the remaining Avengers arrived, the armor was soon put to the test against the Chitauri, holding off a significant number of their chariot fires and distracting a Leviathan. Fighting alongside his allies, Stark flew through a Leviathan to destroy it and maintain air supremacy against the Chitauri. But while in orbit, the Mark 7 ran out of fuel and returned to Earth via the wormhole's gravitational pull. By the end of the conflict, Mark 7 had suffered significant damage. The Mark 7 represented a significant technological development for Iron Man, building upon the foundation and improvements of the previous 6 iterations while also significantly enhancing the flying system and the ordnance and laser weapon systems. When not in use, the armor assumes the shape of a cylindrical pod, propelled like a rocket by thrusters from the boots at the bottom and a chest plate at the top.
You ever tried shawarma? Yes, but I want to try it.
6. Iron Man Armor, Mark 17 Iron Man 3. Tony Stark's 17th Iron Man armor, the Mark 17 Iron Man armor, also known as Heartbreaker, was designed with artillery-level repulsor technology in mind. That belonged to the Iron Legion. Tony Stark created the Heartbreaker armor following the Battle of New York. Iron Man and War Machine utilized the Heartbreaker armor as members of the Iron Legion to combat Aldrich Killian and his extremist warriors. It first appeared in Iron Man 3 when Tony gave Jarvis the order to start the House Party Protocol, which turned on the suit and all the other suits to help Tony fight Aldrich Killian. Under the instructions of Tony Stark's House Party Protocol, Jarvis activated the Mark 17 and all the other armors in the Malibu Mansion's basement. Then, together with the other 35 armors, it took the lead and flew out of the Hall of Armors toward the rocks and oil rig. It was one of the 7 armors that lined the Iron Legion's entry, along with the Mark 39, Mark 40, Mark 35, Mark 33, Mark 15, and Mark 27. When the Iron Legion came, it was the first armor to appear in the scene. It ringed the area where the other armors were stationed and awaited orders from Tony. The Iron Legion's appearance surprises the extremist soldiers, as it is shown floating among the other armors in the backdrop. When Tony gives the command to target extremist heat signatures to Jarvis. "Yes, sir," is the reply from Jarvis to disable with extreme prejudice, resonating through every suit, even the Mark 17. The armor then began to hunt out and fight the extremist soldiers within the rig. While the combat was still going on, it was able to repel some of the soldiers with the assistance of the other armors. As the troops surrounded the Mark 35, Tony gave the order for Heartbreaker to assist Red Snapper. The Mark 17 carried on fighting the extremist soldiers after the Mark 35 was destroyed. Later, Jarvis took control of it, and it landed on the platform where Rhodey was. As Jarvis spoke with Rhodey through the armor, the Mark 17 picked him up and carried him away. An extremist soldier leaped on the armor as it shot upwards. Rolling over, the Mark 17 tried to get the soldier off of it. Instead, Rhodey went down, and the soldier was still on the back of the Mark 17 when it took off. Another brief sighting of the Mark 17 occurred as Rhodey was trying to save the president. Since the armor was one of the 21 that remained intact and, with the assistance of the other Iron Legion armors, managed to destroy the remaining extremist troops, it was assumed that the armor had engaged in combat and killed a number of extremist warriors during the battle. In the aftermath of the conflict, the Mark 17 then goes back to circling the oil rig. Then, at Tony's command, the Clean Slate Protocol was activated, causing the Mark 17 and the other 20 armors to burst into pyrotechnics. Tony did this to demonstrate his love for Pepper Potts, his girlfriend. That was the fourth suit to explode.
Violet is the hot mess now. I understand why you don't want to give her the seats. Don't touch me.
Everything will never be okay. Down a little bit. Drive it.
Will there be anything else? Protocol, sir?
His name again.
Thanos. Population. He said low.
Say, Doc, you wouldn't happen to be moving.
Sure, I'm working on this.
Seven. Iron Man Mark L nanotech suit Avengers Infinity War 2018. Tony Stark 50th Iron Man armor is called the Mark L Iron Man armor. Stark built the Mark L to replace the Mark 47 after inventing the second Hulkbuster and the rescue armor.
I'm sorry, Earth is closed.
Chattering animals speak for you.
It means get lost, Squidward. Please. You get ahead, buddy.
Thing.
There's no time for a thing. That's the thing right there. Dude, German. Thank you. I have it.
Because it makes use of nanotechnology, this armor is more sophisticated than any of his earlier pieces.
It's nanotech. Get that stone out of here now.
It stays.
With a single push, the suit's removable housing unit of nanoparticles could be deployed to cover Stark's complete body.
Come on! Come on!
Hey man, what's up, Mr. Stark? What is this guy's problem, Mr. Stark?
Cull Obsidian attacked as a result, and Iron Man unveiled his new Mark L armor while Banner was unable to change into the Hulk. He then struck Cull Obsidian in the face while erecting a shield to defend himself from his blows. Cull Obsidian, who had just recovered, flung his hammer at Iron Man, throwing him through a building and into a tree. He then blasted him with his cluster cannon, projecting Cull Obsidian back to Ebony Maw. After that, Iron Man kept assaulting Cull Obsidian with strong repulsor blasts.
Wong, you're invited to my wedding.
During the Infinity War, it was most famously utilized to battle Thanos on Titan. Tony Stark used nanotechnology to develop the Mark L armor.
Friday, send him home.
Pepper Potts said to Stark that he didn't really want to settle down and create a family because he had manufactured another suit of armor while they were running. Tony Stark gave them an order to depart when Cull Obsidian and Ebony Maw showed up in New York City and asked to see the Time Stone. 8. Iron Man armor, Mark 46 suit up Captain America Civil War 2016. Tony Stark's 46th Iron Man suit, the Mark 46 Iron Man armor, was constructed following the Mark 45's damage during the Battle of Sokovia. Stark deployed the Mark 46 to battle Captain America and Winter Soldier at Hydra's Siberian facility during the clash of the Avengers. When Scarlet Witch threw automobiles at Stark, trapping him beneath their weight, the suit was damaged. The suit itself only got a few dings, but Tony's right arm was hurt. Later, Ant-Man, who had shrunk within the suit and started pulling out cables, deactivated the left repulsor. Lang was abruptly evacuated by Friday, using the fire suppressant system. Stark utilized the Mark 46 to overcome Giant Man, who was turning his weight on Lang, when Lang expanded to gigantic proportions. Falcon was after Iron Man and War Machine, who were in the Quinjet they had stolen and were pursuing Captain America and Winter Soldier. Falcon evaded the energy beam from the Mind Stone, which struck War Machine's arc reactor and sent him plummeting to the Earth hopelessly. War Machine had instructed Vision to use the Mind Stone to damage Falcon's flying gear. Stark struck Wilson in the chest with the last of the suit's repulsor as Sam tried to apologize, rendering him unconscious and leaving him with a black eye. 9. Iron Man Armor, Mark 47 Suit Scene Spider-Man Homecoming 2017. Tony Stark's 47th Iron Man outfit is called the Mark 47 Iron Man Armor. It was constructed following Captain America's damage to the Mark 46 during the battle at the Hydra Siberian facility.
She's just like, took me over like 1,000 feet and just in my suit or something.
Including this heater.
Oh, that's better.
After a fight with Vulture, Tony Stark used Wi-Fi to remotely activate the Mark 47 to save Spider-Man as he plummeted into a lake. Through the link of the suit, Stark was able to speak with Peter Parker and requested that he give up on Vulture.
Can't you just be a friendly...
But I'm ready for that is not what you thought when I took on Captain...
Lay you out. You can't call happy. I got some pull at MIT. And call.
Friday grabbed control of the suit's controls and took off as soon as Stark ended the call. A few weeks later, after another altercation between Spider-Man and Vulture had broken the Staten Island boat in two, Tony Stark showed up with the Mark 47 and a number of mini-thrusters to help push the two halves together, mend the boat, and save everyone.
Stark, can I do anything? What do you want me to do?
You've done enough.
In a different scenario, Iron Man gave Rogers a final opportunity to drop to the ground and submit by striking him across the face before hurling him aside. When Rogers refused, Stark moved to render his erstwhile buddy helpless. However, a barely conscious Barnes diverted Tony's attention, enabling the captain to reverse the course of events by smashing the helmet with his shield before slamming it into the main arc reactor. Tony could no longer fight, having been limited to the suit's tiny backup arc reactors. Nonetheless, Rogers gave up his shield, admitting Tony's assertion that Howard had made it. Tony replaced the armor with Iron Man armor, Mark 47, because it was severely damaged. 10. The Mark 1 War Machine armor. James Rhodes was originally given the Mark 1 War Machine armor, often referred to as the JRXL 1000 Variable Threat Response Battlesuit, which he used to transform into War Machine.
We got trouble. That's right now. Come on, gotta get him out of here. You gotta trust me. Remember? I think he's...
Yeah!
Where's Fenko?
In here, man. Whoa. I can't move him. I'm locked up.
Tony Stark's Mark II armor was captured by Rhodes and extensively altered by Justin Hammer, who added several weaponry and armor augmentations. Stark eventually undid the alterations and returned the armor to its Mark II condition. It was notably deployed during the battle at Stark Expo.
Nice work, kid.
Listen, a pack just peeled off the head of... Tony, watch it!
Said stay in the car.
After a string of disputes with the US government about who owned Tony Stark's Iron Man armor technology, James Rhodes, Stark Industries' military liaison and buddy, assumed responsible for reducing any more disputes or dubious Stark acts. To transfer the armor to the US Air Force under his direct command, Rhodes brought it to Edwards Air Force Base.
Crocs, we're about to get wet on... Wait. Sorry, buddy. Had to thin out the herd. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming off.
You're dying?
That you? No. When I'm like... Be mad. I will formally apologize when I'm not. Could have been in Venice.
Man, you're gonna have your suit back. I'm sorry. Okay, don't be. No. Partner.
Where do you want to be?
Where are you going? Where are you talking? Fine. Tony, okay? This is where you go to die.
To recapture the Mark II and face his enemies, Tony Stark traveled to Stark Expo wearing his newest armor, the Mark VI. Stark made an effort to coerce Justin Hammer into disclosing Anton Vanko's whereabouts and persuade Rhodes to assist him in his quest. Vanko, however, commandeered the Hammer drones and the War Machine armor and sent him to assassinate Stark. Later, Stark restored the armor to its original Iron Man Mk2 configuration, removing all of Hammer's alterations since he saw them as an affront to his own technology. He also manufactured his best buddy a brand new set of War Machine armor.